You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's X Factor After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's X Factor After Show.
Bing is for doing, and we are doing another after show on AfterBuzz TV. It's a little bit different tonight, guys. If you're watching us on AfterBuzzTV.com, hello. Well, and if you're seeing it, there are no girls tonight. So tonight it's just, let's start with a song. Tonight we have Mark E. Allen, Nick Collins, and me, JC. And what are we bringing?
1, 2, 3.
It's the X Factor after show.
No girls this week. The Macedo twins are up in NorCal, doing a great show. We hope to see you next week, ladies. But it's the boys' club tonight.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We're bringing you guys' opinions. What we think, what we love, what we didn't love. We're gonna have Simon, Justin Bieber, just kidding, L.A. Reid, and so much more. It's the after show, and it starts now. All right, guys.
What just happened? I blacked out.
We don't know. This is what happens when the girls are not around. We're going to get an earful from them. And make sure, guys, if you're not watching us live on AfterBuzz, go to iTunes, subscribe, send us your comments. Let us know if you like the Wild Wild West version of our song tonight.
It was
This is
so
the
much,
man cave
it was
version.
Smooth. That was smooth.
Yeah, it's not like we were practicing it for like 3 hours beforehand.
We were interested in the show we were watching.
I didn't even know the words.
No. And there's a reason why we were practicing tonight, because I'm sure you guys, if you guys are tuning in, you probably went through the same thing that we did, that there was no show. There was no X Factor tonight. And you know what? Before I'm going to step any further, I do have to say hello to Marissa, who's a little under the weather. And let's give her a quick shout out. What's up, Marissa? How you feeling, darling?
What's up?
Yo,
What? That says it all right there.
did that song make you feel better or worse?
It made my night.
There we go.
Listening to it.
Wow, she's so sweet. Even just like, you are a true samurai there, Marissa. All right.
Aw, thank you.
Welcome. So there was no show tonight, guys. So what do we do? How do we make up for it? So we're going to tell you how. Because luckily, some of the country did see some of the show. We caught about, I caught about 45 minutes of the show, so I know a lot, some stuff. So we're going to give you guys a cue. If you don't want to hear, I guess I don't want to call it spoilers, because we did, it was Played for America just at a way early time.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you guys a cue. If you want to switch off or tune in next week, please do. But, we're going to tell you most of the people that made it and some that we are still in doubt for. So we're going to get into that. But we're also going to talk about, of course, who we liked, who we didn't, who made it, who didn't. And we have a little segment of before X Factor. All these participants are wildly talented, but we're going to tell you the stuff that they did outside. You'll be surprised. Some of them are pretty big stars, and we just didn't know.
Away.
Yeah,
Not their first rodeo.
Yeah, so we're going to stick around for that. So, but before we do that, let's do a little recap of last Thursday.
Let's get into it.
Anything that's anyone who stood out for you. I know
#1.
Mark is dying to talk about this.
Yeah, Carly Rae. They put her against, well, the last two were her and Beatrice, which when they had to go through like the battle, or when they both went together in the performance before, Beatrice, I think, outshined her a little bit. And then going into this, they really built up the fact that Beatrice was, just thinking about it in her head so much. And then Carly Rae just went out there and absolutely murdered the song. She was unbelievable. Best I've seen her. And she's, 13 years old? I think they're both 13, yes?
Yeah, I believe so. 13, 14.
Yeah, and
right
Beatrice did not do bad, and they really liked it. But I mean, that wasn't her best, obviously. But I can't believe how great Carly Rae. Like it put her at the top of the list for me.
Yeah, would you agree, or are you
No, I definitely agree. For whatever reason, who stood out to me, for Brittany's group at least, was Austin Reed. Is that Reed? What name am I saying? Reed.
No, let's see. No. The
Young dude.
Young dude.
Yes.
Young dude jacket.
Reed Deming.
Reed. For whatever reason, he really stood out to me. I think that he was really charismatic. Maybe not the best voice, but has, I think, still a strong voice for his age and his, how little he is. And I think super marketable too. So he stood out to me.
Yeah, no, was it Will.i.am? He's like, he was worried about his vocals, but the way he just carries himself, if he would sing like how he speaks, he'd call him like a little emperor, so, and he has just this old soul. He's just polished, very polished.
Entertainment written all over him. So whether he's going to kind of come into his own in the music industry and or acting, he definitely has a bright future. But even if he gets even more polished by next year with his voice, could he can go? Could he
possibly get any more polished?
I can see him coming back. I can see him coming back to the show.
Yeah,
he'd be like a singing Ryan Seacrest,
which is great.
Coming up, I'm going to sing a song next. No, but I agree with Mark. Actually, I think Carly Rose for me, like almost like it was an exorcism. Once again, quoting Will.i.am, that girl was possessed.
Yeah,
she for me, she was the only person that gave me goosebumps for that night on Thursday night. When she was going into the climb of her song, it sounded very almost like Celine Dion to me. Very Celine Dion to like some of her old school Celine Dion, and she was singing Carmen, and she changed the song, made it her own. And here's the thing: I've interviewed Carmen, and when I was listening to her, I was like, I know this song. It sounds so familiar, but I can't figure it out. She changed it so much for me that I was just like, oh my gosh, it was Carmen. She totally made it her own. Absolutely, she is like a five-tool baseball player. Speaking of the reason why we're missing today's episode is because of baseball, but she's a five-tool player. She can do it all. Like she's got the like, was it Drew that was the yodeler? And I guarantee she could probably even yodel. Do you remember Drew from last year?
Yeah, Drew was a yodeler.
She could kind of remember
sometimes.
She would throw it kind of. She had that little sing-songy kind of yodel light.
Yeah. You're right.
But she can do it all. Literally, when L.A. Reid said it on Ellen like 2 weeks ago that he's like signed a check to Carly Rose. Yeah, he may be right.
Who was it that Brittany, after they were done performing, Brittany turned to Will.i.am and said, "I don't think she can handle the pressure." Do you remember who that was?
Let me see, because I wrote it down. Because Brittany was saying some really stuff that didn't match up.
At least I was like, wait, what? Why are you not happy? She didn't seem to like anything, really.
I think they're prodded to say that slightly to make some of the suspense,
right?
To give you a little bit of a show.
I can see that. Yeah.
I think she said it was either about Beatrice or Carly.
Yeah, you would think. Oh, I think she. You know what? I think it should have been about Beatrice, but I think she did say it about Carly just to kind of give. Even she can. Okay, she can handle the pressure.
You're right. It was Carly. Here we go. Because here are my notes. I wrote it down. I was like, Goosey's done. She's a superstar, and then Brittany can't cope with pressure. Brittany, what?
Like, where did she pull that from? Again, that's just a part of my argument from a couple weeks ago, where I don't know what Brittany is talking about sometimes. Yeah. I don't know. She needs to really step up her game a little bit here.
Maybe because she's so young, I guess feedback. 13, if you're a 13, maybe you can't handle the pressure. But that was the most pressure of her life, and she did handle it.
Who, Carly?
So, yeah. So
Carly's a Broadway performer. She's been in Les Mis. She's done 2 Broadway perform. I don't think she feels. I don't think she'll crack under pressure.
No,
I really don't. She's probably out of all of it, and you'll find out later in our segment of the stuff that the singers do outside of X Factor, she's probably the most polished and refined one, even at such a young age, I believe. So we'll get into that a little bit later. But also, once again, if you are listening to us on iTunes, subscribe, please. Let us know, guys. We're super interactive. If you're not watching us live, watch us on YouTube the next day. Comment, subscribe. We answer all your questions, and as we all know, it keeps the lights on.
Let us know what you think about the man cave tonight, too.
Yeah.
You know, X Factor, they're making some cuts, right? So we had to make a couple of our own cuts.
Yep.
Yeah, we
So,
we're about to grill some brats. It's a guy's show. If you know, guys, Watchtower Base, if you're watching, if you could bring us some brats, it'd be awesome, man. We'd love to hear from you. And make sure to call us, 424-256-1729, if you have any comments, concerns about the show. So, shall we move on to the next segment, which can be, it's spoilerific, guys, so.
This is
Spoiler alert.
This is it.
Spoiler alert.
We gave you guys 10 minutes of
Old news.
Old news. Now this is in the year 2000. In the year 2000.
Earmuffs.
Okay. This is what I caught from the show tonight, and they immediately started with Britney's. You know, I didn't catch a lot of Britney's portion of the show, but I do know who makes it to the next round, and we have
drum roll.
Beatrice. Drum roll, Beatrice. Aaron Ray. Diamond
White.
Thank you.
That is right.
And of course, in a shocker, Carly Rose Sinclair.
Yeah, right.
So that means we ended up losing, I believe it was Tanner and Reed Deming. So any thoughts on losing him? I know you really liked Reed.
I liked Reed. Could he win it? No. I still liked him, but I mean, he made it pretty far in the scheme of things. So good job, kid.
I think they're spot on with that.
You know, and like I said, you know, we're letting you guys know we went through it with you guys. So literally, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to start writing this stuff down because I didn't know if we were going to make it to air. So I did catch Brittany giving Reed a one-noted advice, and she said she feels that he needs more training and he needed a little more breath control. And I don't know. I love Brittany, but it's just sometimes weird, you know, because I don't know if you remember when Brittany was singing that song, Ellie Reed's birthday song. She sounded like nervous.
Yeah.
I thought she was nervous, and then I was like, she's telling Reed this, and I'm just like, well, she is the mentor, but yeah, but he took it really well. He was super polished on the way out. You know, he was tearing up. Your heart was breaking for the guy, but he'll be back.
I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
yeah, I can't wait to see that part of the show.
It'll be on Tuesday night at 8 p.m. at usual time. I mean, 8 p.m. 7 Central on Fox on Tuesday night. So if you guys want to catch up on the full episode, so
I mean, how old is he again? 13 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, these kids that she is judging, they all have just pure raw talent. I think to tell a kid that is just walking into a competition show just kind of blindly to say that you need more breath control or more control over whatever she said, I think I just don't think that's constructive, because I mean it's just about the pure raw talent that they bring, and I think that all of them so far really have that quality about them. So I need more substance from her.
I guess, I mean, she had to say something, and breath control is one of those things that kind of, that a lot of people don't know about, or they don't realize that they're doing wrong. So I can see that's something that, you know, a couple things to focus on, I guess.
Was that what cost him his spot?
I don't think that's exactly what it was. I think as an overall performer, he just wasn't going to win, being that young and not as good as he can be. So I guess her just kind of touching on a few things that are important in singing, that kind of makes sense.
I almost kind of wish that either her or some of the judges would just be honest, instead of kind of fluffing them with you know, just feedback. Just saying, look, the other 4 are just so much better than you. You're good, but the other 4 are just in a whole other league. So it's not going to happen this time. You know, I almost wish that someone would just say that. It
kind of, and I think that was the theme that I caught from the episode, from what I saw tonight, that it was tough. That they were so good this year. I think the 16 that we had, there were a few that I didn't personally really gravitate to, but it was just so tough. Like we'll get into LA's group, where, you know, there was some controversy. We have some different opinions on who should have stayed and who was left, because it's a judgment call. It's ultimately up to them, right? You know, or the producers. But
I really hope it's up to the judges. I want to believe that it's the judges making the sole decisions.
Yeah, go ahead and believe that. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and believe that.
Make sure to send your tweets to Nick Rose-Tinted Glasses Collins.
Michelle and Melissa believed that. Now look what happened to them.
Wow. It is the guy episode. The girls are going to come back and take it. We'll be gone next week and the girls will be here.
That was all Marissa's decision to cut that.
And a wise choice, Marissa. Let's see. Another thing I caught on, she spoke. Okay, they did pit like Beatrice and Deming. I mean, Reed Deming at the end. They were like cutting back and forth. It seemed like
Because they're dating.
no. But like, who's gonna make it? Who's not gonna make it? You know. And Beatrice, Brittany actually, one tidbit she told Beatrice, she questioned whether she had the X Factor
Before she put her through.
before she said, "You're through."
Again, so much sense coming out of Brittany.
So, and that's what I got the tail end of that one. But what we got a lot of is LA's judgment. And this is the over 25s, a group that he hated that he's now starting to love.
Right.
He really, I think this group's fantastic.
I do too. I really do. A lot of talent is in LA Reid's group.
Okay,
A lot of talent.
so I'll give you the 6 real quick. And the 6 are David Corey, Daryl Black, Jason Brock, Tate Stevens, Vino Alan, and well, those are 6. Sorry, I thought I.
And a girl, Tara.
And Tara, I'm sorry, yeah. I split them apart. Yeah, that's right. And Tara Simon. Of those that made it, David Corey, which was one of your faves.
Yeah.
Oh, he's amazing.
And I thought that he and Vino would cancel each other out. I was worried. I would have gone with Vino originally. But actually, LA was like, he loves his energy, but he's afraid that he couldn't be a #1 artist.
Who's that?
Who?
David Corey.
I don't think that. I think he has a lot of substance to him, and he has the voice to back it up. It's crazy to see him sing Bruno Mars stuff, and I said it before, and the stuff that it seems like Bruno Mars is stretching to hit, he hits no problem.
Yeah.
In his performance that he did on the rooftop or wherever the hell they were at, that was just amazing. That run he did was just ridiculous.
Those runs were insane. They're like he like fluttered. You know, it was like I forgot. It was Elise Testone from Idol. If we talk about all of them, all
That'd
of
have
them.
been funny if you would have said like Vino Alan, like he just fluttered.
I don't think Vino can.
He doesn't
Definitely
flutter.
the guy that kind of flooded.
Yeah,
I totally agree with Mark, by the way, about David. I mean, I think that there's a huge market for him now. I mean, it's not about a very polished looking, just talking head type singer, you know. It's just people with raw talent, raw emotion, and he's edgy. He's got the tattoos. He's got a heart wrenching story, and he can take a song far past where Bruno Mars can take it, you know. So I think that there is a huge market for him. I think he's got the voice and everything to back it up.
I wonder who'd win in a fight. You know, Bruno Mars or David Corey. You know, like I don't know. He's like
Corey's taller.
You think? You know, I don't know. He's a
I
tough.
love Bruno Mars though. I think Bruno Mars is extremely talented.
Yeah. Okay. Before we turn to the celebrity death match, well, it was all set up so that LA Reid could tell him, "You're part of my Final Four."
Yeah.
So he made it to the Final Four, and we move to Daryl Black, who. Great singer, fantastic. Honestly, LA ended up telling him, "You remind me of myself," but that he questioned that he was missing the fire.
I kind of don't even. I feel like we didn't even see a lot of Daryl.
Yeah,
Black.
always saw was him sing with his family, and he took I forget what song he flipped it, but he was an amazing singer. I guess he didn't have as crazy as a story as Vino Alan, or crazy story as David Corey, or the other two that made it through. But he had a phenomenal voice. He had really great range. He was very polished, and he's been doing it for a long time. So it's very unfortunate that
He's saying she's gone.
she's gone on the rooftop. Or
Yeah, that was his final song. She's gone. It was like an old school song.
Yeah, and he did it well. He did really well. So it's like, I guess maybe, I mean, it just, the other guys had a little bit more that would draw the audience into. But
That's why there's like almost like this is what's great about this season right now. A lot of people are going to disagree because he was great. Yes, and I guarantee there's millions of people that say he should be on the show. And LA decided against it, but the competition is that stiff this season.
Yeah. I also think that, I mean, everyone clearly has an amazing voice, but I think personality plays a huge factor in the X Factor. And to tell you the truth, I don't really remember Daryl Black. I remember everyone else because not only do they have an amazing voice, but they just have a big presence, a big personality. And maybe that's just the editing, but honestly, Daryl Black was kind of a throwaway for me.
And that's what I'm saying. So maybe, I wonder if producers knew that that was going to happen, because he didn't, when he sang She's Gone on Thursday, he didn't get the lead in everyone else did.
Right, yeah.
If you watch the episode, he didn't get the big backstory leading up to him coming up. Literally, and he was on for just seconds, really. It was like he and like Nick Youngerman, and they didn't have a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
So you kind of starting to think, this is the nitty-gritty part of the show. So if you're not giving him a lot of screen time, are you kind of foreshadowing what's going to happen?
I totally thought that. I mean, the people who clearly had a lot of time on camera and people that didn't, I thought to myself, okay, well, clearly, they're not developing that storyline for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and speaking of developing storylines, this is a perfect example. They open with Jason Brock, and he's walking towards his, to the judgment, and he's telling the audience that he's lost his job today. He got fired from his tech support job. Because that's what his occupation was. But he does a few other things, which you'll find out in our later segment. But yeah, he lost his job, so you're like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen to him? And LA tells him he has a strong voice, but his question is, can he become a massive star? And LA believes so he's one of the final 4. So kudos to, Adam Lambert meets Elvis meets Elton John meets
Elvis.
Yeah, I'm picking up Elvis, man.
I don't know about that.
You can't just throw in Elvis into anything, JC.
You can't just throw around that name.
This is 2012.
Fine, all right.
But yeah, he does have an amazing voice. Crazy what he can do. It's just, I don't even know how he does some of the stuff he does. So, I mean, there's no way you can throw out a voice like that. So, I mean, can you be a huge star? Yeah, there's room for everybody, I think, especially when your voice is that good.
Yeah,
I'm really happy that he made it through. I remember his first audition. I said, that guy is really going to go far in this competition. I mean, he's got the personality, he's obviously got the voice, and what I love about the live shows is they give everybody a makeover. So, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna, kind of spice them up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
You think so? Maybe some blonde tips or something?
I was gonna say maybe whiten his teeth because they're really distracting. He does not have good teeth.
I didn't know. Oh, really? Oh, now I'm gonna pay attention to that. No, but well, moving on to Willie Jones, his public enemy #1, Mr. Tate Stevens. Well, impressive start, and he said that he has a likability but needs confidence.
Who, Tate or Willie?
That Tate needed. Yeah, we're still in the over 25s. It's just, how Willie and Tate kind of have that little, that little head-to-head battle.
Country battle.
Yeah, the country battle.
Yeah, he had such a strong start, which made me just, really want to root for him. And then there was the kind of the thing where, if Willie, if he kind of threw Willie under the bus, singing that song. But, I mean, what Willie did, which we'll talk about in a little bit, in his last performance was amazing.
Right.
To kind of
the Tony Rich project, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tate Stevens has to. He was at the top of my list, especially with country, but he's kind of going down the list. He's got to make a comeback with something strong his next performance.
Well, maybe he'll redeem himself because he, LA wants him as one of the final 4, so he's in as well. So, what do you think about that? Are you happy with that one?
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm not surprised.
You don't think it's a slot that they're fitting in, perhaps? Because what other country singers do they have this season besides Sister C?
Well, yeah, that's true. Maybe they were trying to fill a slot because, I mean, when I think of him, yeah, he's not my favorite, but country music is one of the best-selling genres of music, just out of every type of music.
Sure.
So,
and they back up their artists too, especially watching. They'll be the ones voting.
Exactly. They'll vote for their artists. They'll back him up till the bitter end. I mean, it's extremely marketable. So you have to. I think about that when I watch a show. Who is marketable? Because that's what they're looking at. And country is extremely marketable and profitable. So I'm not surprised that he made it through. And he's got a good voice.
Okay. Yeah. And
I'm not going to listen to him, but he's got a good voice.
No. Well, I guess last week people said you don't like rap.
Yeah.
You got a YouTube. I saw that.
I must have shut down a lot of people who chose Kesha and the other songs too. Yeah, not my favorite choices, but no, I do like rap. I was listening to rap on the way here tonight.
You're a beatboxer. Come on, yeah, he loves his rap, folks. I can
#1 in LA, right here.
He's the hardest guy at AfterBuzz.
#1 beatboxer in the world, actually.
In the world of AfterBuzz.
In the world of this room.
We'll revisit that one if we have time and if we get Matt Damon on the show.
Please don't Google that. It's not true.
Now, the reason I brought up, whether the question or not why Tate made it is because now we only have one slot left for 2 people left. And that was Tara Simon and Vino Alan, who, people are very passionate about Tara, either plus or minus. She's kind of like Cece that, we know, Nick, you love Cece, but...
We'll get there.
We'll get there in a minute. But, it was between those two. Now, who would you have picked? Between Vino Alan and Tara Simon.
I would have picked Tara Simon.
Okay.
I would have picked Tara Simon. She has got, I don't want to say this, but she has a killer voice. I don't even like her that much, but she's really good. Okay. And she's got stage presence, and she's a girl that's going to work her butt off to get even better than she already is. Mm-hmm. Vino, I don't know. I agree with Brittany on him. Because Brittany didn't really like him so much. He was a little scared. Yeah, I mean, sure, the head of tattoos is not the most. You don't want to just curl up with a warm fuzzy head of tattoos. But he's not for me. Not for me.
So wait, you would go see Tara in concert before Vino Alan?
I probably wouldn't see either, to tell you the truth, in concerts.
I am so happy that they didn't just pick her because she's a girl, because I don't think she's that great, and I also don't think that she gets on my nerves. Okay. I'm so happy they picked him because I feel like he has so much to offer. His performance on the rooftop, wherever they were at, that wasn't the greatest performance from him, but I know with some training and stuff, a little tweaking here and there, he's going to be able to put some great performances together because his initial audition was great. The duo when he had to go against somebody else, that one wasn't. It was good, and he thought it was terrible.
Right, against David Corey. Yeah.
So I just think that he. I don't know. I just want to watch him. I want to root for him. And she was just like, she was a throwaway for me.
I'm just confused when I watch him. Like, who in your opinion is his audience?
Oh, he's got a. Okay, let's let everyone know. I think you can let it out of the bag, Mark. No, it's fine. No, LA agreed with Mark. He ended up picking Vino over Tara, and he brought it up to Tara. He asked her. He questioned her likability. That was his main concern with her. And she is a confident woman, and then sometimes I guess it just turns some people off. And with Vino, he seems a little volatile, and you could see him as he was coming up for his judgment. He was talking to LA, and he was pleading his case. He really wanted, out of anyone on tonight's episode, of the portion I saw, he was really, man, you can't, I want this, man. He was really begging. He asked. He wasn't begging, but you could just, you could tell it was his last shot. He's been through a lot, and it tugged at LA a little bit. And
I mean, that's not like that was going to sway what LA had already decided, right?
I believe not. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But he just said his tone was special. He just doesn't. Going with what Nick said, I don't see how it works. I don't see how you're going to work. That's his concern.
And I didn't even see that part of the show. I mean, I'm asking both of you, who is his audience?
Well, he's like almost like a Stain type artist.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He has where Stain, the guy from Stain, I forget his name, where he'll just sit on a chair with a guitar and have like his band behind him, and the whole crowd singing outside right at him is just amazing. He's not going to have the teeny bopper, 14 to 24 audience. Overall,
right?
I don't see them watching, but I think there definitely is some people that would want to watch him, and I mean, obviously, yeah, we're used to seeing all these the younger demographic voting for these people, so I don't see him winning it, but I do feel that he has a spot in music today.
Absolutely, it's funny that you mentioned State. I was thinking of Outside of Myself. Yeah, I hope he does that song at least one of the weeks, because that'll probably be his greatest performance.
I would want to see that only if Fred Durst comes out of nowhere and sits next to him like that guy from Stain, like during a live performance, and they do a duet.
You never know. You never know.
You can make it happen. Let me write that down.
It could happen.
So those were LA. So his had a lot of stuff going on, and I got a few from Demi's, and I only got 2 of them. So now, but I think you're working on the. You might. Do you know a couple of the other ones?
Demi? Oh, I got all Demi.
You got all Demi? Okay. Yeah, I know. We know Janelle Garcia.
Janelle Garcia.
Who kind of worried me for a while. Her last performance, when they got in her head a little bit with the hair flipping and whatnot, because her first and second performances were great. I just love what she brought. It was something different, and she lost that for me in the last performance, but she made it through.
Yeah, she's in.
All right.
Janelle's in, and I was. This is the one where Mark and I had a difference of opinion.
Yeah, we fought about this.
We did, literally.
Big fist fight.
Yeah, you got a mean right cross, brother. I got to tell you that.
Where was I standing behind you?
No. Why? Oh, yeah, sorry. Not very good at math. No, Willie Jones, I didn't think he was going to, and he made it. And I'm wondering, is he there because he's going to go against Tate Stevens, two country boys? I think
that's a really good storyline. I just love the fact that he came out and sang that song.
The Tony Rich one?
Yeah, he came back. The one that he flubbed on before, he came back and sang that again. It's like, what? And then he did better than Tate did with it.
He took a big risk. He took a big risk doing that again. That could have destroyed him, but obviously, put him into a whole other realm. He's made it to the live shows. So I think that,
Did he win you over?
He's not my favorite, but I think, good for him. I'm happy that he made it. I like him. You can't help but like him.
Right. Demi did say one thing, that he needs to find a side. And I guess she and Joe Jonas, Nick Jonas were talking about that.
R&B or country, right?
He seems more country to me.
Totally.
It seems like he just naturally, just from Shreveport, Louisiana, he just gravitates, not because he's from there, but just his demeanor.
I don't think he has to pick.
Okay.
I don't think he has to pick which one.
Yeah.
I think even if he blends the two together, whatever he did, his last performance worked.
As a musician, you should be able to wear a lot of hats these days.
And with his hairstyle, it's hard to.
Well, for him, he's gonna have to wear a lot of scarves, maybe not a whole lot of hats.
You know what?
You're not gonna mess up that flat top.
I guarantee he's gonna be like the future spokesperson for bolo ties, because he's always wearing one, and he wore one on tonight's episode as well. Every episode, he's got a different little bolo tie. So
he's gonna get a lot of endorsements.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Quit rubbing it in, Mark. I know it's my fault. It's my fault. I'm sorry. Nick, who else made it on Demi's side?
Well, we've got two more that have made it, and
I'm excited.
who are the last four standing right now? We have Jillian, Paige, Cece,
and Nick Youngerman.
Well, I'll tell you who made it through.
Okay.
The first one, the third slot, is gonna go to Paige Thomas.
Oh!
Paige Thomas made it through. Yeah.
Good. Good, yes.
Yeah, okay.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the fourth one, because then just lets me figure out why the other two didn't make it.
Yeah.
Who do you got for?
Right. Three very talented singers up there. Only one slot again. It's tough. It was a tough decision. I could imagine for Nick Jonas and Demi Lovato, but the fourth and final spot did go to, and I'm disappointed.
Right after the break.
CC Frey made it through.
You can tell by the way he was smiling.
I was smiling so big on that podcast.
So Nick and
Jillian
are out.
I didn't think that they would eliminate her. For me, it's just. I do believe that CC should make it in. She has a great voice, and I think Paige also should, as well as the other two. But really, I didn't see them cutting Jillian.
That one, because remember that last performance wasn't her best. It was her worst performance she had. So that one performance took her out.
You saying for Jillian?
For Jillian.
Yeah, I don't think it was that. She kind of started off slow, but I felt like she ended that performance really well. But
I could have seen Willie's spot going to Jillian's.
Same here.
But I have to tell you, I'm glad that she did not make it through. She was for whatever reason,
weighing on you?
One of my least favorites. I just don't know. She has a sob story. She has a connection to Demi, but you can only play that card so often.
That's true.
She has a good voice.
Okay.
Just not a voice that I would want to really listen to. That's my opinion.
No, absolutely, and that's what it's about. And X Factor through and through. So
through and through.
So it's cool.
All 1.5 seasons. I know it so well.
1.5.
He's well versed. Yes.
1.25 maybe seasons.
1.25.
More math with Nick.
More math with Nick. So
join me in the corner. Of
no
math.
shocks. Okay. So what about? Do you have any news on the groups? Anything?
News on the groups? Well,
not news, like who made it? Or
I got big news on the groups of who made it.
This is all spoiler stuff, guys. If you didn't catch, I know we know people
Spoiler alert.
People in Canada caught it.
I mean, you do tune into us for the inside scoop, so we might as well tell you. Okay, Team Simon Cowell, the groups. I'll tell you right now, the first group through.
Yeah.
Lyric 145.
Ooh, Lyric
I
the
didn't
Queen.
know.
Lyric
Wow.
the Queen 145.
I think she carried the group.
Well, is that why the group's named after her?
Probably.
You know what? No, I can see them going through. I think they are definitely necessary in this competition.
Mark Anthony called her a superstar.
He was also looking for planes. The performance before that, though.
And a towel because he's sweating.
Okay, all right.
I disagree with Mark Anthony on. I mean, she is an extremely vibrant character. I'm excited to see a little bit more from them because I was definitely not convinced. I would have been totally satisfied if they didn't make it through. But no, I'm interested to see what they can bring to the table now that it's going to be live.
Give them some time to work on something.
I like when people get through that I'm not sold on because clearly I was missing something. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Okay, all right. Who else made it? Who else? Ooh, it's like Christmas.
All right, the next group through. This is a game changer. Lila's.
Ooh.
A little bit shocked for me. I'm a little shocked.
Why is that?
Because there was one out of the 5 that I didn't like, and the only reason I'm not being nitpicky, they said when they were about to go on, they said they would all make it, or if one of us was the weak link, we would all go home. And if that was true, there was one that I just didn't think was as strong as the other 4 vocalists.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought they were going to get cut. So I'm slightly surprised.
I just don't see that. I don't see them getting cut after seeing how. I mean, yeah, I can see how the one girl was not as great as the others, but just having that much talent in one group and just putting them together like that and all right, sing the song, and they put on a great performance for me.
Okay, all right.
It was for me. The performance
It was just for Mark.
This is the guy
So I'm
episode
happy.
of the AfterBuzz guys, so that's why.
The third group through. Maybe not a surprise to the men sitting at this table. A little bit of surprise to me. Emblem 3.
Man,
They are going to the live show.
my homies. Huntington
Sorry,
Beach.
boys,
What?
leave the surfboards at home.
Yes, maybe they'll get shirts for the live show. Fantastic.
No, don't do that. Why would they do that?
That's true. They're going to lose all their demos.
Yeah,
No,
that's their thing. The no shirts.
They've been strong all season, even though the last
Two
episode.
of them have been strong. You're right. 2 of the Emblem 3 have been very strong. The third guy, what is he doing? What is he doing?
Usually in groups like that, you don't have 3 strong people. Like I don't like Dixie Chicks. Not everybody's the lead singer.
Oh,
True.
Okay.
So I think they do have like 2. I mean, or LFO. Not everybody was,
Oh, wow, nice. Wow.
girl on TV. Come on.
Yeah.
But I think I think we talked about this before when they are able to play instruments and stuff. Possibly maybe he's playing bass and yelling in the background.
Okay.
You know what? Again, live shows are going to change everything. I mean,
Everybody's
you're going to be on a stage with lasers and smoke machines and backup dancers and backup singers. It's going to be a whole production. So
VMAs
honestly, like
every week.
this is the people. Now you're going to see what they would look like in concert. So it can change everything.
For the record, Marissa, I know you don't have to answer because I know you're feeling like $100 right now. But can we get lasers for one of our future shows? Like, can you put it in the log? We'd like lasers for our future AfterBuzz.
for that.
Okay.
Is there an app for that?
Yeah, there could be an app. We'll do an app,
I
guys.
could use a smoke machine.
There we go. We're gonna do that, guys. It's gonna maybe our Halloween episode. How about that?
It'll be great for the podcast.
I know for the people not watching, just listening. All right, who else you got on the groups? Who that we know of?
This is where it gets a little tricky because apparently the feed that was the longest on TV tonight also got cut out at one point. So it's came down to Sister C and
Was it Dope Crisis?
came down to Sister C and Playback.
Oh, Playback.
Yeah.
See, this is crazy. Well, it's not crazy for me, obviously, because I wasn't there. But can you imagine you try out as a group, you make it through as a group, and then you find out that the judges put together these other groups, and 2 of the groups that they put together are potentially going through? I would be so devastated.
That would kill the ego. Yeah.
I would.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to try out as a group. Apparently.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I know.
We're not.
No,
After that
we-
song.
if you listen to our intro songs, no, that's not going to
Hey,
happen.
they might come knocking on our door.
Well, we'll save it for predictions, who we think between what's left on the groups and see who we think is going to move on. So, but let's move on to a little segment we're calling Before X Factor. So little stuff I found out, because we know that X Factor, these guys, we think they're no longer saying that they're amateurs. I know now we're knowing that a lot of them are performers outside of the show, but a lot of the super fans will be surprised to know that I jotted down some, I guess, side jobs for the contestants of the season. And first off, I got like Jason Brock. He's actually a big-time performer. He's shared the stage with, I don't know if you guys know, Debbie Gibson, all like the teen young heartthrobs. He has his own like X-Men like little podcast show, and it's what is it? It's his X-Men gay podcast that you can still tune in and listen. He's been in a few movies, and you can just go to his site, go to jasonbrock.com. You can find out all his stuff. So, but here's someone who's interesting, David Corey. David Corey, who he's got a great storyline with his stuff with his mom. Yeah, he really
works for Ancestry.com. Is that what you're gonna say?
Close. But on the serious note, he was actually in a horrific car accident in 2006. Oh, yeah, that left him nearly paralyzed. He had like 65 staples put in. He had 3 plates in his hip. People thought he would never be able to walk again.
I would have rather heard that story than him looking for his mom. I would have,
Maybe they're saving that for later in the season, So they thought he wouldn't be able to walk because his knee was just so bent out of place. They didn't think that he would ever be able to walk. So you can just Google his stuff, and he's got. I don't know if this is on his website, but it was an article in the Baltimore newspaper. It was like in June, and he's got a pretty big following. He's got like 200,000 Twitter followers before X Factor.
Oh wow,
really?
Yeah, so, and he's got a great site. Just definitely check davidcorey.com. But another guy, Daryl Black. And Daryl Black, he's a Christian singer. He's got a lot of great stuff. He's on YouTube. He's got a great rendition of Britney's Hold It Against Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He changed the song completely. It's awesome. Definitely, if you guys are fans of Daryl Black, go to his YouTube page and listen to all this stuff. And he's kind of got that Kirk Franklin thing. If you guys are familiar with gospel music, he's kind of like Kirk Franklin. So he knows how to rock the house, and even does stuff in Spanish.
And that's
that's awesome. Yeah, so it's a little neat stuff. But last but not least for this week, we've got Beatrice Miller. Yeah, and the whole Carly Rose Sinclair and Beatrice little rivalry. Well, they're both, we know about Carly Rose and Les Mis and whatnot, but Beatrice has been in Toy Story 3. She was in Toy Story 3.
I love it.
Ice Age. She was even on Dateline. She was an actress on Dateline.
Oh my God!
She was playing, she played a bully on Dateline.
Oh, I thought you were saying something else.
No, she played a bully. Yeah, no. She played.
I'm not just gonna be like the prey.
No. She played a bully on Dateline and got a nice IMDb page. She's done about 8 movies and
good for her.
Yeah, so
it's crazy to think that. I mean, I guess a lot of that stuff is behind. Behind the camera doing voiceovers or whatnot. So I guess it was just interesting to see her kind of just in her head so much on that last episode. Yeah. But I think she'll come to and be, now that she knows she made it through that.
Do you think she was in her head, or do you think they spoon-fed us to believe that she was in her head? Like from you watching the show?
Maybe a little bit both.
If Britney wasn't like she was in her head, I wouldn't have been like, wow, she was really in her head.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. They're almost, leading us to, like.
Let me ask you this. X Factor is kind of about finding this raw talent, these diamonds in the rough. I mean, are you...
Their show tonight! Nashville wants to do their after show! What is going on?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the very pretty cast of Nashville.
Nashville is in the house.
I just want to reiterate that there was actually no show for
the mic.
There was no show for the X Factor tonight, so we're just wondering what you're all doing in here.
So the girls are kicking the boys out of the studio.
Okay, so we're gonna finish it with some news and gossip. And I was gonna give you guys a great intro, but now I'm gonna take it away.
That's one way to end the show.
Yes.
We're also recruiting Mark to do the Nashville song.
Oh, all right.
Nashville. So he's getting
Nashville. What is it?
It's the Nashville after show. show after show. It's the
AfterBuzz TV.
Okay, so Nick, I wanted to see how you handle this news in 2 minutes or less with Nick Collins. What do you got for us this week, Nick?
It is announced. It is finalized. It is going to be Mario Lopez and Khloe Kardashian hosting the X Factor live shows. And although it is beautiful news, they're apparently getting into an argument already.
Yeah, there's some beef between them. I read something today that actually they're both getting about $1 million each. Nice. Who'd have thunk it?
Not so bad.
I guess Khloe says that she's the one attracting all the audience, and Mario disagrees. Yeah, and she wants the same size trailer, and all. So we're gonna find out who's the biggest ego. Who do you guys think? Who is the bigger host? Khloe or
bigger
Mario?
Host or bigger
I
ego?
mean, Mario is a host. Khloe is. I think Khloe is a numbers game. Mario is actually going to, carry the show.
Chloe-o.
Forgive us, AfterBuzz fans. It's the Nashville fans that are being Nashville hosts are being a little ornery right now.
I think they should share a dressing room and a bathroom.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
With the Nashville host, or
I got more news though. Demi Lovato has come out and said she has the winner in her group. Again, she has the young adults, and she is so confident that she has the winner of the entire show that maybe I'll just save the rest for next time because Nashville's here.
Okay, we're pressed for time, so you know what? That's it for news and gossip. So let's move on to little predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
We're gonna call you guys like the Barker's Beauties, because Phil, you are a sexy man. All right, so who's the rest of the groups? Who do we think?
Sister C or playback?
Sister C or playback?
Oh wow, I'm gonna go with Sister C.
Sister C or playback?
Playback. Never been more certain about anything in my life.
Whoa.
Yep. Let's get serious in here.
Well, good.
What do you know that we don't know?
But
ladies, what do you think? Since you guys are obvious big X Factor super fans, playback or Sister C? JJ Jurgen?
Super Sister C. That's
Super Sister C.
Okay.
They are going to combine the two groups to make one super group.
Okay.
And that's it.
Here's my prediction. I don't know who's going to win between those two, but they're going to bring back Jillian Jensen. She's going to be the 17th competitor, just like last year. Will she pull another Melanie Amaro? I don't know. We'll have to find out next week.
I think they're bringing back Rachel Crow, 18th competitor at the live shows.
As you can tell, this show has gone off the deep end. Hey, Nick, where can they find you, buddy?
At the Nick Collins.
Mark?
Find me, Mark E. Allen.
Marissa, how you feeling? Where can they find you?
I am at Marissa Movie.
Oh, get better, Marissa. And I'm JC. You can find me at The Everyday Man. So for Nick, Mark, Marissa, I'm JC, the Nashville crew. Stay tuned for the live episode of the Nashville After Show coming up next. Good night, everybody.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.